Uh, just doing a little video here, I guess, of the update on my mental health and treatment. So I went in earlier today. My wife drove me up, and I went and got my labs drawn, urine test, and they then I actually walked upstairs to go to the mental health clinic, and my nurse wasn't there. She was in Strawberry Point today, and the doctor, she's works from home on Monday and Tuesday. She's not back in the office till Wednesday. But I was just sharing with the other nurse there that I know pretty well. She kind of took my questions or whatever. And I told her about some of the new stuff that's been happening, that basically my shakes are tremors. And they're not bad when I sit, unless I like go to move them. But I just shared with her that, going downstairs, I am ridiculously slow. Like, I don't know, maybe like 20 years older or something, holding onto the wall and everything else. And I just feel like, I don't know what they are. I got pants on or whatever, but I just feel like my knees are just chattering back and forth. And it feels like my hips are moving, just different ways. And I don't know, it's just a little uneasy, I guess. And that's kind of been gaining. Before, I had the tremors in my hands, and they kind of went up to about my forearms or elbows when I would do something, like if I pick up a cup of coffee, or that kind of stuff. But if I'm just sitting there and I'm not thinking about trying to make them do something, they pretty much relax. Occasionally they spaz on their own a little bit. So I shared that with her. Um, I just a second. Sorry about that. Um, I also, well, and I showed her that too. But I also oh yeah. So I also shared with her that gosh, my brain has been a little off today. Oh, I shared with her that I've woke up 2 nights now, and this is not normal for me at all, and it's extremely painful. But I don't know. It's like I get all this heartburn or something, and, and it goes down my windpipe into my lungs. That's why I'm a little deeper, because I mean it just makes you just jolt up, in bed when you wake up to that. And it is painful. It is so extremely painful, and you can't breathe. And I mean, I would just stop breathing because I couldn't take a breath. And if I did take a breath, it was like really, really shallow because it hurt. It was just so raw. And then coughing, well, I had to cough because it just makes you cough trying to, but it doesn't do it didn't do anything to resolve it. Then I took some Tums, and it did zero, like nothing. It went down. I even chewed them up, or whatever. And yeah, so I knew that it was in my windpipe or whatever, down into my lungs. And it takes a long time to go back to sleep because you can't breathe. But if you can't breathe, you can't sleep. And you can't, you can't stick anything there to neutralize it or whatever. It's just burning, And, well, that happened Friday night, and then it happened well, last night, Friday night, so Sunday night, and yeah, I mean, there's like nothing I can do, and none of my food has changed. You know, everything's the same, and so since I've been on that pill, like I don't know, 9 or 10 days, I'm like, is that causing this? You know. So she was going to talk to the doctor about that, and then I don't even know. I didn't even scroll through the videos to see if I've talked about this also, but I'm kind of wondering. I mean, I don't even know anymore. I really don't. I don't know. Um, I'm good. Like I'm not suicidal or nothing. It's just like fatigued, you know, tired. But I'm I'm really questioning whether I had that bipolar with mixed episodes. Yes, I still fit the criteria of it, but 2 nights ago, I don't know, just a little while ago, I didn't know how to Google for what was going on, so I just did this. I'm like, hey Google, what is going on if I have, and I just started listing some of the things that the way I could describe them, you know. And I would say I pegged out on this one even harder than the other one. Like I I'm absolutely certain. Uh, yeah, I feel pretty confident. But it came up with some type of phobia. They're all weird names, but basically, um, what whatever that thing is called, it's causing me anxiety. And I'm like, what? I don't know. But I'll tell you, as the more I've been, just looking into it and reading it, it's definitely what it is. And what's crazy is I've been negative on all my tests when I felt my chart for that because I didn't know what it was. And yeah, it doesn't feel good. Like I that and I'm sorry if I have this in another video. I almost feel like I do, but I don't know. It's kind of all blurring together a little bit because yeah. But basically, the number one thing you do for this is you got to like walk into it. You gotta take all them walking into your fears. You gotta baby step. And I'm like, man, I haven't done anything, and it's like, yeah, I mean, and that's been kind of overwhelming, which is why I haven't done anything. So I don't know what it's going to feel like. I don't know, like if I do anything. So I shared that with her too. And anyway, then my real nurse calls me back and told me some stuff, and they had a plan and whatever. And then she didn't have my lab results back, and so she said she'd call me back. Well, then she calls me back, and everything's good, I guess. Everything's good. And so I end up telling her all the same stuff that I told the other gal, and well, they end up changing, like I said, my dose, and then she's like, all right, just a second, let me put you on hold. And so she wanted to call the doctor, and next thing I know, they're highly recommending I go to the ER, to the emergency room. Okay, so we'll throw another couple $1,000s at this. Long and short, they took every single vial they had of blood, of my blood. I don't know how many they did that morning. It was pretty extensive too. And they did a EKG or whatever on me. I guess that was good. I think the only thing they didn't do is I think the psych doctor wanted a chest x-ray, maybe? I don't know. But who am I to be in the middle of all of it? So they actually spent some time. It was a good experience at the ER. And this gal, the PA or whatever you call them, she pulled up different data for that drug. Like, my wife even looked at why she was out of the room, and she couldn't find it on the manufacturer's website. Well, I believe they must have some other source, and she's pointing them out, and she goes, right there's what you have. Then she goes down further, and she goes, right there is what you have. So she's like, I say stop to med, and I wanted to give it a fair shot because this is not my first rodeo, and I know, they kind of all do something pretty crazy to start out with. But she's like, yep, I say you stop it. I said, all right, whatever. And then I asked her about, do I need to titrate off that pill? Because a lot of these pills you do that, which means you got to ramp up and ramp down. And she's like, first she was kind of like, no, and something. And then she gets looking, on the Google or something. And, that's best practices. So I took a half a dose tonight when I got home. I don't know that we're any further along. I have what I guess they're calling an emergency face-to-face appointment with the psychologist or psychiatrist. So we'll do that. But I don't know, this is exactly what this is. This, I should say, this doesn't surprise me. It's like, it's just, you were either creeping one up, creeping one down, doing this, doing that. Oh, hey, here's another one. Here's one we haven't been able to spell. Take this. And that's the biggest reason that I started doing the ECTs, because I was, at one time they deemed, because we've done all the old drugs, and I was deemed it was like medicine. They ineffective. It was like the medicines were ineffective, med intolerant or something. I don't know. That's where ECTs finally came up, and that was, for me, it's always been to break a depression, but I think they could use it to break a mania too. The deal is, and I've probably said this, before, crap. Like I said, the brain, it's not because I'm tired, it's just my brain is a little bit messy today. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Like, I haven't felt this good. Like, I know that sounds weird because I just complained about, like, all those bad things, but, like, my actual brain, I'm just a little foggy right now, maybe today. Oh, forget the fog. I actually think I'm happy, and I don't have all the suicidal thoughts. I'm not flying off the walls. And so it's like, I don't know, I really like the way I feel. But, I can't also go on this way, but I'm enjoying every moment of it. I don't know, it's like, it's just a sweet, yeah. Yeah, as long as I stay in my little cocoon, my protected world, get my rides, have somebody with me when I do stuff like working on the rentals Sunday night, then I'm kind of able to do it. So we're going to see where we go from there. Yeah, that's about all I have. And this is just as much for me as it would be for any audience, kind of deal. We, that video where I was laying in bed and I'm like just whatever the hell was going on. We played that for the ER doc, and she was like, she was very concerned about that. So the videos are apparently helpful for for use, my own use or whatever. So anyway, this is just an update so I can log if I need to look back. And I wish any of you that would be seeing this, I wish you a good day.